russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros.
So this first clip is Hausman now talking about the first tweet that started it all. The NDA.
Which Stu?
No.
Okay.
With that same guy. The NDA tweet.
Okay. So now, wait, hold on. So are you telling me he's backpedaling a little?
Well, you be the judge.
Okay.
I know there's been a lot of people who are upset with my NDA tweet and kind of how it came about.
Look at that. Hold on. I just want to let I'm sorry. What, Jeff? I can't take the hair.
He looks like an 8-year-old kid.
Oh, what is he's wearing a wig? I'm calling it right now. Okay, go ahead. So now
and then he's got bad taste in wig.
Yeah. So now we were confused about his tweet. Is that what he said?
Well, he said there's a lot of talk about it.
Upset with my
upset about it.
NDA tweet and kind of how it came about. And I just want to let everybody know that it wasn't
Who
just
is
like
this poor Robert Carpless? Who is this?
He has introduced him as a former WWE writer.
Oh wow! Okay.
So yeah, I don't know when he was there, but that's.
I think this should have been Stu's spot, though. To be honest with you,
every spot should be Stu. Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of people who are upset with my NDA tweet and kind of how it came about, and I just want to let everybody know that it wasn't just like some jab I was looking to take at Jericho. I knew full well that it was probably going to hit in some way. I didn't know that it would hit near as hard as we've seen it hit.
Is he releasing a new single on the radio? I mean, I knew that was going to hit.
No, what he's saying is, I knew that was going to create a moment. That's what, bro. Him, Sap. That's what all this shit is, bro.
But I'm just tired of watching Chris just bully people around and be.
So he has watched Chris, bro. I got to tell you something. I worked with Chris. I was there. I never seen Chris bully anybody around, bro, ever. But Nick Hausman, he has seen Chris bully people around. And he's sick and tired of it.
If I'm Jericho's lawyer, I'm like, well, there's another line for the lawsuit right there, because you've never seen my client do anything.
And he's sick and tired of it, bro.
Yep. Like he knows this shit.
Man,
but I'm just tired of watching Chris just bully people around and be, very abrasive. Especially publicly like that. I didn't.
Bro, okay, listen. We gotta call on the audience. Okay, Jeff. Let's call on our beloved brand, guys. You've got to go back through the archives and find the interview or the tweet where Chris Jericho buried Nick Hausman, because I promise you it exists. I promise you, bro, it is out there where Jericho buried Nick Hausman at one point in time. Look for that so we could have it on next week's show. But go ahead, Jeff.
Very abrasive. Especially publicly like that. I didn't appreciate.
Hold on, bro. So Jericho is abrasive because he blows him off every time that he sees him, bro?
Well, now he's talking about tweeting to that lawyer. Responding to
very
the lawyer.
abrasive. Yeah,
very abrasive. Yes.
Very abrasive. Yeah.
The lawyer can't handle himself. He needs to
bro, do you know what Chris Jericho would physically do to this douche? Oh my God, bro. Go ahead.
Very abrasive. Especially publicly like that. I didn't appreciate some of the things he said about Ace Steel's wife, Lucy, in some of his tweets. And
who the fuck are you? Who is he that he didn't appreciate it, bro?
Yeah, exactly. That has nothing to do with mind your own business.
Guys, I'm telling you, we've been doing this for a very, very long time. This is why we do the show. Right here, bro. This is why we do the show.
I was just tired of it. And that's all that was behind it. It wasn't just me throwing it out there to throw it out there. And you are welcome to be upset or whatever you want, or draw your own whatever opinions about this. But from my perspective, that's all this was.
Well, guess what? If that's all that was, and you weren't just throwing it out there to throw it out there, you would have said something else. Quit being abrasive to this guy.
And I really hope Jericho does something and drags him through the legal. I really hope that, bro. Listen, I don't know what happened with these two individuals. Okay, bro. Like I said, I worked with Jericho. I've never seen bullying or anything else like that in Chris Jericho. Nobody knows what happened with these two individuals, but these two individuals, bro. But I hope Jericho drags this, even though Jericho knows he ain't getting nothing. But like you said, bro, drag this ass clown through the freaking mud and set a precedent that none of these douchebags have the right to talk about professional wrestlers or anybody in the business without having substantial proof. Because that's the question you need to ask Hausman. Bro, what? Show me your substantial proof. Show me your proof, Nick. Well, so-and-so told me. My source told me. You know that's what it is, Jeff.
Yep. Now here we go on the Harvey
It keeps going now?
Yeah, so now he's going to talk about the accusations.
With Stu?
No, same guy.
Oh, damn it. Bro, I am crossing my legs now like a freaking woman because I haven't peed in an hour and 24 minutes. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jericho misconduct allegation story. Now, obviously, a clip from our show went somewhat viral.
The one we played, the Harvey Weinstein one. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Shortly after we recorded, talking about the Chris Jericho situation. Right now, I want to be very clear.
Bro, can you stop for a second, Jeff? Can you imagine if you're Nick Hausman and this is my living? Bro, this is this dude's living. Like, this is what this dude does for a living, bro. Do you know how disturbing that is?
And not only that, he doesn't have the insight to realize that he is now hurting his career by even doing any of this. Because he's not, you're right, he will not be in another AEW scrum unless Tony Khan is the biggest pushover that there is.
Yeah.
So he's losing that access. He just lost half of his access to his business.
My opinions of Chris are my opinions of Chris. I've heard a lot of things over the years. I don't personally like Chris Jericho. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. I think that there's a lot of issues there. You know, there are other people that when issues come to the surface, it can take away from the legacy that they've created. And that is just a concern that I have for Chris. And that is all I ever meant by my comments. And
so all you ever meant by comparing him to Harvey Weinstein was that's just his personal opinions of Chris? No, that's not. That is an accusation that he is a terrible, terrible person.
That then elicited a thread, that clip, where other people were starting to allude to previous allegations against Chris, sexual misconduct allegations. Some of them involved. Again,
that allegation was not sexual misconduct the way it was written. It was he hit on a girl and she rejected him. Now, last I checked, that's not sexual misconduct. That's getting shot down if it's true.
I hate to say this because I have not personally mentioned her, and I really would like everybody to respect her privacy. And it's really
who does he think he is, bro? He's telling everybody to who does this freaking jack off think he is, bro?
And now he's spinning it that he never mentioned her or anything. And again, what was that tweet that we brought up earlier? He responded to her heart with a heart to imply that that is exactly what he's been talking about. So he's full of shit again.
So beyond at this point.
I think if anybody wants to know who it was, they can go look it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, now he doesn't want to say her name, even though he continued to keep her name in this by quote tweeting her with the heart in the middle of all this conversation. So after this bullshit, they're all getting on him for backtracking. Oh, first he's Harvey Weinstein. Now it's just my opinion. I don't like Chris. There's stories out there. Well, no, that's a backtrack in my opinion compared to what he said in the first clip.
Bro, have you ever in your life, Jeff, listen, you know, man, just all the locker rooms I've been in and all the people I've come across. Jeff, I swear to you, I don't think there was one person I ever didn't like because I heard stories about them. Bro, there are stories about everybody, bro. I mean, see, bro, that's where I'm so right. Because he cannot be saying, I have issues with Chris Jericho because of stories I've heard. No, bro. Jericho had to embarrass him once. call him out once, bro, make an ass out of him once, and I guarantee you that is out there. Nobody has heat with anybody else, bro, because you heard stories about them. That's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, so after all these accusations about the backtracking, Hausman tweets, guys, I did not backtrack anything. Anyone saying otherwise is incorrect. My feelings about Chris Jericho remain the same. What he said was not his feelings on Chris Jericho. They were accusations, implications that he was like Harvey Weinstein. Those were not your feelings. You said there are stories that will be told one day. He said that. That's not his feelings. So how is this not a backtrack? Then he started to have a complete meltdown over anybody saying that he's backtracking, insinuating there's going to be legal action and all this shit against Wrestle Talk. So Wrestle Talk puts out a video, and the thing
is Stu part of Wrestle Talk?
No. This is I think it's one of the UK ones. I think you did something over there one time with them.
Yeah, I did,
years ago,
and they pissed me off. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they put out a video. Chris Jericho allegations backtrack, right? Which would anybody that would go through what we just went through would be thinking the same thing.
Right.
Hausman quote tweets this video and says, I would like a contact name and number for Wrestle Talk TV. This is inaccurate. And then he puts out a tweet.
Well, wait a minute. It's inaccurate and they showed footage?
I don't know. I didn't watch it because it's gone now. We're going to get to that. I couldn't watch it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So he's getting ratioed to hell on this. And then he puts out a tweet telling all of his followers to report the video. And he said it'd be a shame.
Doesn't that sound very familiar with what was it? Contact Podcast 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very familiar. Yeah. I love the way these guys conduct business. I love the way they conduct business, bro. Like freaking 5-year-olds.
Yeah. And then he puts, it'd be a shame if they defamed me. ... Like you have how many people? Like you just did Chris Jericho, because without evidence, you are defaming him. Now, their opinion that you backtracked, I'd love to see you take that to a court of law, that they're defaming you by saying you backtracked, when clearly the evidence shows backtracking. You didn't, it wasn't your feelings. You said their stories are going to come out. You compared him to Harvey Weinstein. Now you're saying, I just don't like, my feelings are, I just don't like him and because he bullies people. That's a backtrack.
Time out, Jeff. I think we defamed him by making fun of his haircut.
No, that could be.
So there was some defaming there. So go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
So I would like to thank Wrestle Talk TV for removing the video I posted about. They took it down. What is wrong with them?
I know.
Pussies.
I know. God.
Unbelievable. So I'm sure this will continue. I'm sure this story is not over. Where does this go from here? We got to know, is Jericho going to take him to court? Is there going to be more that comes out? I'm not being allowed at the scrums. You know, some of this stuff. I'm sure there's going to be more in the future with this.
This is why we do this show, guys. I'm so. When Jeff and I made the decision to do this show, the one thing we said was we are going to use their own words. We're going to play the clips. We're going to read the tweets directly from these individuals, and you will see. And bro, I'm telling you, bro, guys like him are a big part of why the business is where it is, bro. Because you know why, bro? Adults don't want to be associated with people like this. They don't, bro. They just don't. They want to separate themselves. People like him, people like Sap, we can go up and down the line, bro. And they don't want to have anything to do with it. And, you know, you guys see, man, we played the clips. It's not, you know, well, we said Hausman said this and Hausman said that. We played the clips. You heard it for yourself. As a matter of fact, bro, as soon as this show is over, I am going to DM Chris Jericho, and I'm going to say, bro, you need to sue this asswipe's ass to set a precedent to, I'm doing it as soon as this show is over. Because that's what needs to happen, bro. Because then they'll all run away in their freaking caves and they'll think twice before they compare Chris Jericho to a known who's sitting in jail.